Hello guys, Ultranite Gaming here, and today we're going to be doing a lore discussion on Hammer of the Imperium, the Imperial Guard. Now, before we start, a few quick things. A few things I hate about the lore of the Imperial Guard that I find really, I just can't comprehend it. I don't think it's real or could be done. A few things I think actually that's really clever. It's based on real life events. Fair play to the Guard. Or Matt Ward, or who written the Imperial Guard Codex? I think it's Matt Ward. No, Robin Crudak, or Crudace. So yeah, fair enough. And a few things that I'm a bit iffy on. But more important than that, guys, this is not a tactica. It's nothing to do with tactics. It's pure lore. I want you guys to message me. I'll always reply. If you see other messages on other videos or comments, I'll always reply. Maybe a bit late. I have a busy schedule, guys. Especially when it comes to Warhammer. Especially when it comes to work and home life, etc. Girlfriend. Yeah, busy schedule, guys. Basically, what I'm trying to say. But I'll always reply. I'll always do my best. Even if I make another video and say, look, guys, I was actually wrong, and Imperial Guard can do this. Their lore is actually really good. It does make sense. Or already with Ra, I will make another video and I'll hold my hands up. But this is the amount of lore I've gathered at the moment. Yeah, basically. Right, we'll jump straight in now, guys. We're not going to be discussing Cadia or Kachan or anything like that, because they have actual training worlds they train their men on and send them off from. We're not discussing that. We may do a separate video if people want it on their lore, and we'll discuss it. We'll have a good little chat about it. We're definitely going to do a live stream soon about lore, so whichever lore you want for that video. We're still voting on what lore we're going to do for that live stream. But at the moment, they're going to do the General Guard, or the literal Imperial Guard, not the poster boys of Cadia. Right, the General Imperial Guard, quite simple. They have conscription. Every world has conscription. Conscription basically means it can be anything from 8 years to 130 years conscription. Simply because the Imperial scholars sometimes miss worlds because they got hundreds of thousands of worlds to go through, and it also depends on the geographical location of your world. To other worlds that if you're right at the back near Terra, you're not going to, well, you won't be conscripted because it takes too long to get you to the front line. But that brings me nicely onto my first point. Getting to the front line. As we all know, the Imperial Guard and the Imperium use warp travel, or warpway generators, or whatever they're called. Which basically, it's a fast way of travelling. It takes months and months and months to get from here to here. It takes months. It takes about 6 months generally from the middle of the Imperium to get to the front lines. Yeah, basically. 6 months is a long time. Now, it's not as fast as the Ola Webway, and it's not, well, nothing's as fast as the Necron teleportation where they can just teleport around the galaxy. But, 6 months is a relatively good time-ish. But here's the thing that I don't like. No, we'll start off with the law. Basically, the conscription happens, it can be any time, it can be conscripted. It will normally be from 18 or 16 to 48, it can be, male. Although, recently, which we're going to go into a little bit of detail on, a few games have portrayed female characters in the Imperial Guard. In actual Warhammer lore, this never happens, there's never any females. Or the literal written lore, there is no females. Quite a few reasons. There's obvious reasons such as rape, all those sort of actual reasons that they're not allowed to have females in the guard. They're considered weaker, they're more fragile of the mind, they're considered in 40k. But also they're the life givers, or they have the babies, and of course they need to be kept in the home. But due to sexist reasons, and all those reasons being quite sexist, and nowadays in America at least, or America, you're allowed to have females in the army, in Marines and stuff. I believe, I know in Britain, it's a great country, the only females are allowed in the front line are combat medtechs. Anyway, I digress. Back to the point. So you sometimes see females, but not all the time. It's mainly men. They're conscripted. They can anything from a small world of 2 billion all the way up to the larger worlds to 15 billion. If you're on a forge world, you won't be conscripted. But the big worlds can conscript up to 15 billion men. Now, that is an insane amount of men. excuse me, I got cold. To conscript 15 billion meals every day, 15 billion drinks of water every day, 9 litres of water each, or gallons of water, whatever it is, a day they have to drink for 6 months from until they get to their homeworld to the front line. Worst off, they don't train on their homeworlds, unless you're KD or etc. Because your families are on your homeworld, and they don't like that. They don't want you with your families. And plus, you'll be joined straight into a liberation fleet, and therefore you won't have time to train on your homeworld. You'll train on your spaceships. They've got to transport ammunition as well as this mountain of food. They've got so much they've got to transport to the front lines. You know, plus, when you get to the front lines, the war can go on for anywhere from 2 to 3 years. So all the food there for the guard. It's insane. The training, they can train you all up. Their junior officers will be picked from men, but they've got to then transport generals to your liberation fleet for general command. It's insane logistics. I mean, and that's what I can't quite comprehend how that's doable in the 41st millennium. It's certainly not doable now. I mean, even nowadays with our armies of 2.1 million in America's case, or 100,000 in Britain's case, or a few million in Russia's case, it's still incredibly, if not impossible, to logistically move all these armies in one go. I mean, you could probably move your infantry companies quite easily, but that's with your actual logistics company backing them up. In the Imperial Guard, there's no mention of a logistics company or regiment. It's simply with the actual regiments, and so for that reason, I can't really see how it's possible. I want actual Guard players, because so I don't play a lot of Guard. I don't really look a lot into their lore, to comment and say if it's possible or not, whether you believe it's possible, all those cool things. Back to the point. It also means, because of the distance they've got to travel, they don't ever have reinforcements. I'm trying to be real quick with this video, guys. It also means they can't have reinforcements, the distance they have to travel. Which means it's quite depressing when you think about it. I mean, they say they can never get reinforced. The only time they ever get reinforced is when they're literally split in half. Another regiment can then combine with them. And this is also a really interesting fact. Only ever can 2 regiments fight alongside each other. 2. The reason for this is because the Imperium can never commit more than 2 regiments to a single battle. Never. And the reason 2 can fight together is because they're always, whenever 2 regiments are combined, the battle's been going on for such a long time that, like I say, the regiments are combined together to make 1 regiment. Rather than having 2 regiments fighting side by side, they're always combined, because by that point, 1 regiment will have been so badly damaged that the other regiment comes in and just combines with them to reinforce it. And that's why 2 can fight together. Otherwise, they can't. The Imperium can never spare more than 2 regiments for a single battle. Which is quite interesting, and also says a lot about how many Guard dies on a single day. Another interesting fact is the Guard can only reinforce a regiment through white shields, which basically means they take the general population of a world they pass over or battle on, and they basically indoctrinate them into their ranks and create white shields. I want to go in detail on the white shields and all the fact that the Guard never ever see their homeworld and all that sort of stuff. This video, I don't want to make it too long, guys, so I'm going to be real brief on that. Back to the real world events that the Guard are based off. The Guard is actually based off the Russian army in World War II. Most of you will know that. The reason for this is it makes a lot of sense with the Imperial Guard. In World War II, the Russian army had a lack of training, a lack of equipment, a lack of tanks. Towards the end, not so much, but at the beginning. And the enemy they fought had much better equipment, much smaller, but much better training. For this reason, the Russian army used horde tactics, not literal horde tactics. It was a certain order, I can't remember, it's like order 336 or something, which basically means not one step back. They were shot if they retreated, and they were all sent in huge infantry waves towards the enemy and would expend the enemy's ammo, and then when the enemy were out of ammo, they would then send infantry in to take the enemy ranks. They would send conscripts in first, and then Starskis when the enemy were out of ammo. And that was their tactics, basically, guys. The Guard used the same tactic because, obviously, they've got billions of men, not enough supplies, a lack of training. It's the obvious tactic to use. Exactly. Now, that law, I think, is brilliant. They've really thought about it. Robin Crudes, he's really thought about that. the guard are based off it, and it makes a lot of sense. It's really interesting. They use artillery like the Russians did. They use all those intricate things. It just makes a lot of sense, and it's really interesting. It's good lore. Yeah, guys, like I say, this is a real brief look into it. I will do a live stream soon. You guys need to vote on what you want to see in the live stream. Leave a comment or something like that. To what you want to see, we can do Imperial Guard, we can do Eldar, Necron, we'll do lore, do a big discussion. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of these. But please comment, guys. I really want your help on this. I want a discussion on the Imperial Guard, their lore, things you guys think are really cool about it, things you think you agree with me, it's not very realistic, or things you say, actually, Ultra Knights is actually pretty, realistic. You can transport that. Here's a real world example, and here's the Imperial Guard example. I would like to stick to Warhammer lore more than I would like to real life scenarios. But if you've got any, throw them at me. It's really interesting. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching this, guys. I do appreciate it. Yeah, basically, peace out. Thanks for watching. Cheers.